The Independence Day of India, which is celebrated religiously throughout the country on the 15th of August every year, holds tremendous ground in the list of national days since it reminds every Indian about the dawn of a new beginning, the beginning of an era of deliverance from the clutches of British colonialism of more than 200 years. It was on 15th of August 1947 that India was declared independent from British colonialism and the reins of control were handed over to the leaders of the country. India's gaining of independence was a tryst with destiny, as the struggle for freedom was a long and tiresome one, witnessing the sacrifices of many freedom fighters who laid down their lives on the line. Hello and welcome to SSB Crack Exams. I'm Heyman and today we are going to cover a very special edition about the Independence Day, and we will also discuss a very detailed way about the various battle tanks of the Indian Army, because in the last few days in the series of these Independence Day editions we were discussing about the Indian Navy's INS Vikramaditya. We also discussed about the Indian Air Force various fighter aircraft. So today we will discuss in very brief way about some of the most important special battle tanks of the Indian Army. SSB Crack Exams is India's largest, most preferred online defense exams preparation portal. We are one-stop solution for you if you are preparing for various defense examinations. I highly recommend you to download our Android app from Google Play Store, wherein which you can have each and every defense examination related study material, lecture content, all sort of study material, practice quizzes, sample question and answers in your hands. Beginning with the question of the day that I have posted on 14th of August 2020, and the question that I asked was, Na Bibheti Kadachana is the motto of which Indian naval warship? I repeat the question. Na Bibheti Kadachana is the motto of which Indian naval warship? And the correct answer for this is INS Mysore. I appreciate each and every defense aspirant who has given this in a very correct way. So INS Mysore is the second of the Delhi class guided missile destroyer, and this was commissioned into our Navy on 2nd of June 1999. That means few days while the Kargil war was going on. So it was on 2nd of June 1999 we inducted INS Mysore into our own Indian Navy. The displacement of INS Mysore is around 6,700 tons. The length of this ship is 163 meters. The beam is around 17.4 meters, and the speed of this particular warship is in excess of around 13 knots. This has a crew of around 40 officers and 300 sailors, and the motto which I am talking about is Na Bibheti Kadachana. This means we should always be fearless. This was taken from the Taittiriya Upanishad from the Hindu texts. The crest for this Mysore, that which you can see, this is known as a Ganda Bherunda double-headed eagle. Understanding? So this is the coat of arms of the former Mysore state. It was taken from that, from the former Mysore state. They have taken the same Ganda Bherunda double-headed eagle symbol as the INS Mysore, as it symbolizes a lot of the culture of the Mysore state. Okay, going on in detail regarding INS Mysore, that it is equipped with an array of weapons and sensors which include surface-to-surface and surface-to-air missiles, anti-aircraft, anti-missile guns, torpedoes and anti-submarine rocket launchers. This ship is also capable of operating Sea King advanced light helicopters, the Kamov helicopters, Chetak helicopters, which are enable the ship to perform a wide variety of roles including coastal and offshore patrolling, monitoring of sea lines of communication, maritime diplomacy, counter-terrorism and anti-piracy operations. Okay, that is it in detail regarding INS Mysore. So now let us begin with understanding about the first and foremost important defense update is about the Independence Day celebrations 2020. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has led the nation in celebrating this 74th Independence Day at Majestic Red Fort in Delhi today morning. So he unfurled the national flag and delivered the customary address to the nation from ramparts of the iconic monument. On his arrival on early morning hours of 1718 in front of Lahore gate of Red Fort, Shri Narendra Modi was received by the Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh ji and Defence Secretary Dr. Ajay Kumar. The Defence Secretary introduced the General Officer commanding Delhi area Lieutenant General Vijay Kumar Mishra to the Prime Minister. The GOC of Delhi then conducted Prime Minister to the saluting base, where a combined inter-services and police guards have presented general salute to Narendra Modi. Thereafter, Prime Minister inspected the Guard of Honour. This year, Army being the coordinating service, the Guard of Honour was commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Gaurav S. Yewalkar. Army contingent in the Prime Minister's Guard was commanded by Major Palvinder Grewal, Naval contingent by Lieutenant Commander KVR Reddy, while Squadron Leader Vikas Kumar led the Air Force contingent, and Delhi Police contingent by Additional Deputy Commissioner of Police Shri Jitendra Kumar Meena. 2nd Battalion of Garhwal Rifles was raised on 1st of March 1901 at Lansdowne under the able stewardship of Lieutenant Colonel J.T. Ewart. It is one of the finest battalions of Indian Army. So this particular battalion is in particular participating in today's Independence Day parade. So, after inspecting the Guard of Honor, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi proceeded to the ramparts of Red Fort, where he was greeted by Raksha Mantri, Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat, Chief of Army Staff General M.M. Narawane, Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Karambir Singh, and Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhadoria. The GOC Delhi area conducted the Prime Minister to the dais on the rampart. Major Shweta Pandey assisted the Prime Minister in unfurling the national flag. The unfurling of the tricolour synchronized with 21 gun salute fired by the valiant gunners of the Allied 2233 Field Battery Ceremonial. The ceremonial battery was commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Jitendra Singh Mehta, and gun position officer will be Naib Subedar Anil Chand. National Flag Guard comprising 32 men and 1 officer each from the Army, Navy and Air Force and Delhi Police represented Rashtriya salute at the time of unfurling of the national flag by the Prime Minister. The Army contingent for the National Flag Guard was drawn from the 5th Battalion of the 1st Gorkha Rifles. The allied 5th Battalion of the 1st Gorkha Rifles was initially raised in January 1942 at Dharamshala and was later demobilized in December 1946. It was raised on 1st of January 1965 at Solan. The battalion proved its mettle during Operation Cactus Litti in East Pakistan in 1971 and was awarded with 3 Mahavir Chakras and 2 Veer Chakras for that. It also had an opportunity to serve for the United Nations mission in Sudan from 2008 to 2009. Battalion is presently performing the honorable duty of ceremonial army guard to the President of India. After unfurling the national flag, the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi addressed the nation, and after the speech of the Prime Minister, the National Cadet Corps cadets sang the national anthem. On this festival of national fervor, 500 NCC cadets from all the Army, Navy and Air Force are from different schools. They have taken part in today's Independence Day. That is it regarding a very detailed analysis of the today's Independence Day parade and all the celebrations at the Red Fort in Delhi. Now let us understand about the gallantry medals that were presented on this day. Today, around 3 Shaurya Chakras, 5 Bhartu Sena Medal gallantries and Sena Medal gallantries, 60 Sena medals and 19 mentions in dispatches were done for today. And all of these are very, very important. Considering the Shaurya Chakra awardees, there were Lieutenant Colonel Krishan Singh Rawat of 1 Para SF, Major Anil Urs from 4 Maratha Light Infantry, Havaldar Alok Kumar from Rajputana Rifles, the 44 RR Regiment. Lieutenant Colonel Rawat was awarded the Gallantry Medal for leading his team into a 36-hour ambush of terrorists attempting to infiltrate. He gave specific positions for 2 terrorists, resulting in their successful elimination. He also guided his team to safety from the retaliatory fire by the enemy and later located the remaining terrorists, eliminating 2 of them and grievously injuring others. Considering about Major Anil laid an ambush based on intelligence inputs of terrorist movement across the LOC and their plans to cross the LOC to attack Indian military personnel. He led his team efficiently to bring down 5 terrorists despite receiving heavy fire from enemy troops. He is awarded the Gallantry Medal for extraordinary leadership, nerves of steel and spirit of service before self. Going on with Havaldar Alok Kumar Dubey. Havaldar Alok is awarded for display of raw courage in preventing terrorists from breaking a security cordon laid by his team and killing 1 dreaded terrorist belonging to the A++ category while blocking others from escaping, enabling his team to further tighten the cordon and eliminate all other terrorists. For all of these exemplary actions, these 3 famous personnel of the Indian Army are awarded Shaurya Chakra today by the Prime Minister. Going on with the Naval Gallantry Awards, they were presented to Naveen Kumar, Haridas Kundu and Commander Dhanush Menon and Captain Mrigang Shiokhand. Going on with the next important update, that Navy is going to urgently buy 10 ship-based drones. These are very, very important drones. A proposal has been moved in fast-track mode by the Indian Navy before Defence Ministry, under which it plans to buy 10 naval shipborne unmanned aerial systems, okay, for over 1,240 crores of rupees as per the plans of the Navy. The drones would be deployed on big size warships of the force and would help them in detection of activities of the Chinese as well as other adversaries in and around Indian territorial waters, also including some of the most strategic areas of the Indian Ocean region. Going on with the next important update is that Indian Army recovers weapons Pakistan currency during search operations in Jammu and Kashmir. It was the Chinar Corps. Mention in the comment section what is the speciality and what is the original name of the Chinar Corps. Chinar Corps said that this search operation was launched on August of 11th based on inputs about presence of weapon and ammunition cache, adding that the recoveries were made on August of 13th and the operation was named as Operation Trinarian. Also at the this operation was happened at Dogi Pahad, and 3 pistols with magazine and ammunition, 73 AK rounds, 2 detonators, 15 grenades and various other immense amount of ammunition were recovered, and also Pakistan currency was also found there. Going on with the next important update is that huge cache of arms explosives were seized in Assam ahead of Independence Day yesterday. Catching on a tip off, recoveries were made in a joint operation by Guwahati Police and Udalguri Police at several places in the district on Thursday night. 2 AK-47 rifles, 5 AK-56 rifles, 2 M16 rifles, 1 airgun, 7 9mm pistols, 23 magazines of AK series LMG and INSAS guns, 5 36 grenades, 5 HE bombs and 7 40mm grenades, everything were recovered, and including this there are many more amount of ammunition. This is like very huge amount of ammunition that has been seized and that has been taken into control by the Assam police there. Going on with the next important update is that the Bharat Earth Movers Limited is going to team up with IIT Kanpur for pilotless aircraft and unmanned aerial vehicles. Okay, this is a very beautiful initiative that is being taken up under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Both the organizations would synergize respective capabilities and undertake feasibility study, design and development, testing and validation of tactical unmanned aerial vehicles and the pilotless aircraft. So BNML announced that it is teaming up with also NASSCOM, NASSCOM Center of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence and Internet of Things related areas. So BML signed 2 MOUs. One MOU is with Indian Institute of Technology Kanpur regarding the pilotless aircraft and unmanned aerial vehicles, and the second MOU is being signed with the NASSCOM Center of Excellence for the AI and Internet of Things IoT related areas. So these 2 MOUs were signed in the virtual presence of Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and the Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat among others. Going on with the next important update is about the important battle tanks of India, and the first and foremost we are going to discuss about the Arjun main battle tank. As I told you, since last 2 days we were discussing about very strategic inputs of the Indian Armed Forces. So today we will discuss in a very detailed way about the battle tanks of the Indian Army. So these are very important tanks for us. So this is an Arjun main battle tank, is a state-of-the-art tank with superior firepower, high mobility and excellent protection. Okay, this is a multi-laboratory program of Defense Research and Development Organization with CVRDE. CVRDE means Combat Vehicle Research and Development Establishment. So CVRDE is a part of DRDO as a lead laboratory. So some of the breakthroughs were achieved by the CVRDE during development of main battle tank Arjun, and they are in engine, transmission, hydro-pneumatic suspension, Harlan turret, gun control systems and all. Regarding the firepower of Arjun main battle tank, it has an accurate and fast target acquisition capability during day and night and in all types of weather, shortest possible reaction time during combat engagements, ability to accurately engage targets on move, capability to destroy all possible enemy armor at maximum battle ranges, and excellent first hit probability. The main armament and the secondary armament also include the gunner's main sight, the panoramic sight for commander and ammunition. Regarding the mobility, it is a high performance engine and it has robust and effective transmission system, particularly flexible hydro-pneumatic suspension and optimized running gear with its high shock energy absorption. Regarding the crew comfort, ergonometry using anthropometric data of Indian troops has been kept in view while designing the fighting and driving compartments to fully exploit the outstanding features of the weapon system. Hydro-pneumatic suspension provides excellent rate comfort for crew, eliminating fatigue even on the extended runs. Going on with the next important battle tank is about the T-90 Bhishma. This is manufactured by Ural Wagons Award in Nizhny in Tagil of Russia. So this is a T-90 tank, and our country named this tank as Bhishma. So this entered service with the Russian army initially in 1992 as a third generation tank, and we took it later. It is currently the most modern tank in service with Indian ground forces, and this tank uses 125 mm 2A46 smooth bore tank gun, 1G46 gunner sights, new engine and thermal sights. Regarding in detail about the T-90 Bhishma tank, in February 2001, Indian Army signed a contract for 310 T-90S tanks. 124 were completed in Russia and the rest are being delivered in knockdown form for final assembly in India. Currently, India operates more than 862 T-90 tanks which were produced in 3 separate orders. T-90 weighs just 48 tons and has a crew of 3, which is made possible by the use of an autoloader for the 125 mm smooth bore gun. The unique feature of this tank is its ability to fire the inward anti-tank missile from its barrel. Other special features is that even though 12 mm machine gun mounted on the turret is manually operated, it can also be remotely controlled from inside the turret by the commander. Indian variants have indigenous Kanchan ceramic armor, which is topped by a layer of explosive reactive armor, which is also powered by diesel engine, which makes maintenance easier and reduces fuel consumption compared to the gas turbines of the T-90. According to the latest media reports, India plans to upgrade Russian-made T-90 tanks with latest technologies to keep it modern and fighting fit for the next decade. Indian authorities have already had a meeting with makers of the tank in Russia recently and are planning on the list of key technologies which will be a part of the major upgrades as planned by India. Going on with the next important tank is about the T-72 Ajaya. T-72 is named as Ajaya by our own country, and it is a licensed manufactured Russian T-72 M1 tank which is started in the late 1970s. During 1990s, Arjun Mark 1 development dragged on. Hundreds of T-72s named Ajaya were in need overhauling and repairing, an opportunity normally capitalized upon to implement upgrades. India has been working on long-term upgrade program of Ajaya in stages. The first stage is true update and has been called as a combat improved Ajaya. Also, to get in detail regarding this particular tank is that India has been working on all of this program since very long term. In 2002, India purchased 250 Polish fire control systems as used in the PT-91 and as thermal imaging sight. It's reported that India was unable to secure the rights to manufacture FCS under license. The Ajaya also has new ERA developed by DRDO, fire detection and suppression system within the crew compartment, new 81 mm smoke detection and suppression system within the crew compartment, and grenade launchers mounted on the side of the turret and GPS. During the time of the press release, further field trials with the help of a team of Russian scientists were being conducted at Jaisalmer's Lati field firing range on a T-72. No details of what was being tested were actually given about. Going on with the next important tank is about the Sharad BMP infantry fighting vehicle. This is the best infantry combat vehicles in the world with modern weapon systems. It is ideal for fighting battles with speed, surprise and deadly precision. It is a truly amphibian vehicle, which means it can travel at 7 km/h on water and can overcome slopes up to 35 degrees and can cross obstacles of 0.7 meters. It can be easily transported by air due to its low weight. Okay. Regarding the Sharad BMP, it is powered by 300 horsepower engine and it is a highly mobile to meet all tactical requirements of mobility in a battlefield. It travels at an incredible 65 km/h with easy steering ability in cross-country terrain. It is protected with armored plates all around, thereby ensuring a high degree of protection to the combatants. It offers a chameleon-like camouflage with the help of smoke grenades, creating a smoke screen. Going on with the next important fighting vehicle is about the Abhay infantry fighting vehicle. This is still not in service, but it is in developmental phases. So it is a developmental vehicle program which is designed to test out various technologies, mechanics, weaponry for their use in the future Indian Army infantry combat vehicle, which itself will someday replace the aging Soviet era BMP-2 fighting vehicles currently in service. So design of this Abhay is being handled by DRDO, with production of several known prototypes being handled by the Heavy Industries factory of Awadhi. regarding this particular one is that the origins of the Abhay lay in a new Indian armored vehicle initiative begun in the latter part of the 1990s. India had long been supplied with military equipment from the Soviet Union and Russia and has since grown their indigenous defense industry to become a major global player in the realm of small arms, aircraft including helicopters and military vehicles. Abhay underwent work throughout the decade and its design was largely based on BMP series of vehicles. BMP was a Soviet era design that evolved into three major successful variants and would have played a major role in Europe should the Cold War had gone hot. Understanding these, we have to make it very clear that the Abhay infantry fighting vehicle is a very tactical and very important fighting vehicle for us. So this vehicle is suspended by an indigenously designed hydro-pneumatic suspension system allowing for good cross-country performance. Upper portions of the track are covered over and inside skirt armor for some limited protection. All of these are a very special features. To get in detail with the Abhay infantry fighting vehicle and all other most important battle tanks that we have discussed until now, I request you to please go through the free PDF study material and the blog that is being provided from the SSB Crack exams. And for the free PDF study material, I request you to download our Android app, in which you can get all the other details in a very detailed way. Now we will have a very quick review by going through some of the most important questions, and the first and foremost question for us for today is a General Officer Commanding of Delhi area. He is Lieutenant General Vijay Kumar Mishra. The next important question is, this year the Guard of Honor in Independence Day celebrations parade was completely commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Gaurav S. Yewalkar. The next important question is, who assisted the Prime Minister in unfurling the national flag today? So it was Major Shweta Pandey. Major Shweta Pandey was also the commander while in the recent deployment of the Victory Day parade at the Russia. So these are very important inputs for us to remember. So she also assisted today in unfurling the national flag. We can also call this particular service as the flag of honor. Going on with the next important question is, which public sector undertaking would collaborate with IIT Kanpur for joint indigenous development of pilotless target aircraft and tactical unmanned aerial vehicles? It is the Bharat Earth Movers Limited. BEML has signed an MOU with IIT Kanpur for these UAVs and PTS, and it has also signed another MOU with the NASSCOM's Center for Excellence. Going on with the next important question is, Dash is the name referred to the modular composite armor indigenously developed by India to be used for mainly Arjun and its other tank. I repeat, Dash is the name referred to the modular composite armor indigenously developed by India to be used for mainly Arjun and its other tanks. The correct answer for this is the Kanchan armor. Mention in the comment section what all are the specialities of the Kanchan armor. Now we will have the question of the day, and the question of the day for today is, under which former operation Indian Navy attacked the Karachi port of Pakistan? I repeat the question, under which former operation Indian Navy attacked the Karachi port of Pakistan? What is the speciality of this particular operation and why is this operation considered to be a very famous one? All the details and the complete explanation for this I will be giving you in the next session. Until then, stay tuned to SSB Crack Exams. Subscribe to this channel. Download our Android app from Google Play Store. Until then, always stay safe, eat healthy food, continue your preparation for various defense examinations in a very good way, and Jai Hind.